This is the easiest carnivore meal you are ever going to see, but it wouldn't be Chris Cooking Nashville if I didn't figure out some simple ways to upgrade the quality of this to way better than it honestly deserves to be. The easiest, one of the best meals on Chris Cooking Nashville. So we're doing steak and eggs. It's one of the most classic OG carnivore meals. And truthfully, it's one of the easiest that you can do as well. There's a lot of different ways to do it, but everyone keeps telling me that I should be air frying my steaks. And I'm going to be honest, I have done this. I don't generally like air fried steaks. They are mediocre at best. They're very easy to overcook, and they just don't have much color or flavor on the outside. But I'm going to show you a way that we can get the most out of an air fried steak. We're also going to make some scrambled eggs, but scrambled eggs are just eggs and butter most of the time, which is fine, but it gets boring really easily. So I'm going to also show you a way to upgrade the quality of your scrambled eggs. Now, both of these things require minimal extra effort. It's just about intentionality. And I'm going to show you how we make both of these elite level food. Let's start with steak. Getting a properly cooked steak from an air fryer is going to come down to three basic things. Number one is the preparation, and this steak has already been totally prepared to get the very best out of it. First of all, I cut this ribeye from a ribeye loin that I bought, and I made sure to cut it between 1 inch and 1.5 inches thick. If you do not have a thick steak, you are going to struggle to get any kind of crust or color on the outside of this without overcooking the center. Freeze your steak. So this is frozen solid, but we have an upgrade that we need to do in our preparation step. So what I did is I put this steak on a rack over a baking sheet. I salted it heavily on both sides. I stuck it into the refrigerator for about 8 hours. Overnight is even better. Let all of that salt dissolve, pull some moisture out of the steak, and then the salinity of that liquid will actually move via osmosis through the steak. It's going to season it all the way through, and the sodium helps break down the proteins and denature them slightly. So it has been not only frozen and of course cut thick, it has been dry brined. That is your first upgrade. But it is not just about preparation, because the second thing we need to consider is the technique of cooking it. First of all, we're going to preheat the air fryer to 400 degrees. You want this really nice and hot, because if it's not preheated, you're going to start boiling the steak on the outside instead of getting it cooked properly. And the fact that it's frozen is going to protect the inside while we try to get some color on the outside. We're going to flip this halfway through cooking, but we are going to upgrade what we do with the cooking technique inside the air fryer. The first thing we're going to do is cook the steak to an internal temperature about 115 to 120 degrees, and you can cook higher if you want this to go further than a medium rare where I'm trying to go. And I'm going to use a thermometer to track the internal temperature, but you want to give yourself about 10 degrees of carryover cooking space. But that steak is not done yet. That first stage is going to cook to temperature, but then we're going to remove the steak and we're going to let the temperature even out throughout the steak for about 10 to 15 minutes. Letting that temperature come to a more even temperature throughout the entire steak will not only allow the fat to render properly, it's actually going to help protect that center section so we're not trying to get it up to temperature and end up cooking a great big gray band of steak way too far while trying to get the very center of our frozen steak cooked. And I'll link my favorite wireless probe thermometer down below for you, as well as my favorite air fryer. We're going to talk about what you need to be ready to do when it's done in the air fryer. I added an additional 6 minutes onto the air fryer, flipped it over halfway through that because it is so thick. Now we're going to let it rest for about 10 minutes. And what that's going to do is help to level out the temperature throughout the steak without us overcooking that outer ring while we're trying to get heat into the center. Then we can go ahead, preheat the air fryer, and we're gonna go for that second round of cooking, the second layer, where we're going to get the crust on the outside. Then I'm gonna show you something you can do additionally that's gonna take this next level crust on the outside. I'm gonna go ahead and take the beef tallow that has rendered out of this steak. We're gonna brush a layer on both sides. Now we can go ahead and add pepper or any of the other seasonings you may want. And then I'm gonna show you how we finish this with the air fryer and then that super elite crust level finish right afterwards. So our steak capped out at 135. The air fryer has preheated to 450. It's the max temperature. We're gonna put this in, get that nice sear, add some more pepper if you want, and we're just gonna create a crust on the outside. We're gonna air fry at the maximum temperature for 3 minutes, and we're gonna flip it halfway through. We take the crust from good to elite level. All right, now that is as good of a crust as you're ever going to get from an air fryer. So we're gonna set this on a tray. We're gonna let this rest for about 5 minutes, super boost that crust. The problem with an air fryer is that it is using indirect heat method, and the air does create a more direct heat contact, but it does not do that great of a job the way that searing on a cast iron skillet or grilling or something similar does. We can overcome that with fire. By using a flame like this, we can get direct contact between heat and the crust. I'll link this and the canisters down below. All we're gonna do is crust this briefly, but it's not gonna add enough heat to actually cook through the steak any further. "30 seconds of flame, and that looks a little bit more like a proper steak. We're going to use the same 3 principles that we are using with the steak. It is all about your preparation, your technique, and of course, finishing. But it's a little bit simpler with eggs because there's not nearly as much to do. We need to crack these into a large bowl, and we need plenty of room so we can whisk them very well. We're going to add about a tablespoon of water for 2 eggs. Adding that water is going to cause them to steam slightly more, which gives us a fluffier and softer texture. Of course, we're going to add in whatever seasonings we like. I'm going to do some salt and pepper, and I've been told that salt ruins your eggs if you salt them before you cook. I've done the experiment, and for me anyway, they taste better when you salt them before you whisk them together instead of trying to do it after you've cooked them. We need something to cook them in, and this is where upgrade number 2 comes into play. We're gonna add butter over a medium heat. We're gonna let that start to melt, and we're going to brown that. As soon as that starts to foam and turn a nice golden brown color, we're gonna take it off the heat to let it begin to cool before we cook the eggs. The absolute best tool you can use to get these beautiful soft scrambled eggs is a whisk. Just keep it moving so that nothing gets too overcooked. Once your eggs are getting close to being cooked, go ahead and turn off the heat, remove the pan. The residual heat from the pan will finish cooking the eggs. Once your eggs are cooked and they're perfect, you can optionally add a teaspoon of sour cream or creme fraiche. That halts the cooking and keeps them nice and creamy in texture. And it's also going to complement that beautiful nutty brown butter flavor. We're going to get our scrambled eggs out of the pan so that they don't overcook. For an elite finish, add just a little bit more fresh butter right on top to melt. So you know this is not my favorite way to make a steak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we've upgraded it, hopefully, to be the best that this can possibly be out of an air fryer. Now, do I think it's going to be as good as searing or cooking on a grill or something like that? No, I don't. But I do think if this is the way you like to do your steak, very simple things like this will upgrade it. So let's give it a try. And I know the eggs are going to be amazing because upgrading those eggs in that way is just very smart.
I totally get though why you would make a steak in an air fryer. It's very like hands off and easy.
Yeah, as simple as it can possibly be. I understand.
Yeah.
Not my favorite, but let's see if we could at least make it a little better.
I'm almost there. Hold on. Here's my honest opinion.
Yeah.
I've eaten steak. I think every which way it could possibly be made because I married a Chris cooking Nashville. The flavor is good. The crust is good. This is probably one of the not so greatest steaks you ever made me.
Yeah.
With what you had and what you've done, this is really good.
This is the best air fryer steak I've ever had.
Yeah. A lot of people say they like it to use the air fryer, and I get the ease and the convenience. But if you're looking at like the quality and the especially for something like steak, you spend money on it. It is really interesting to me though, because we usually don't eat our steaks in an air fryer. And I'm like, wow, it's stringy. It's tougher. I had to chew. But compared to other air fryer steaks that I've had, this definitely has the best flavor. The crust is actually really nice. That's one of my biggest complaints with air fryer steaks is I feel like there's no crust ever. So yeah, I mean, with what you had to deal with, good job.
Yeah, it is disappointing. And that is not because what I did was wrong. This is the best air fryer steak I have ever had. Air fryer steaks are disappointing to me.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not as good. It's not that it tastes horrible, but this is, like I said, by far the best air fryer steak I've ever had. This is not the best steak I've ever had.
Use these tips and those 3 different elements to make sure you are getting the very best version of it you can. I'm gonna go ahead and try these eggs because I know these are going to be good.
The eggs, hand down, they're rich, they're creamy, they're super buttery. Excellent flavor, texture. Those are very good. You
can really taste the browned butter. It just gives it this nutty, rich flavor. And if you like things like that, check out this video right over here. This is Chris cooking Nashville and Ash Taylor. You guys eat your meat, even when it's from an air fryer. Love your life. We'll see you here for the next one.
Air frying steaks. Well, you've really dressed this one up. And it's really good.
Yeah.